Okay, now we're at the last section of the chapter. Section 4, we're going to write a couple paychecks. Actually, we're going to write 2 paychecks and 1 general check. And then, if you remember, you're going to need your worksheet from section 3, because we're going to write paychecks to Judy and Mike, because they want paid for what they did. So I'll set this off to the side for right now. So we'll just start here. Prepare the antique shop's general account check for the pay period ending July 15th. The pay date is July 15th. The balance brought forward for the previous check was $16,542. Payroll account number listed here, and then sign your name as the manager of the antique shop. Now, this is going to be kind of old school. Obviously technologies passed up this book. Probably when this book was even printed, you could do this. But nowadays, just about 99.9% of the businesses are going to use online banking, and they're going to be able to anybody can transfer money from one account to another. So, but for the book, the way this is going to work, the antique shop has a general account where all the business deposits go to, and then payroll time on payday, a check is going to be made from the general account, because there's going to be a separate account for payroll. And it's just a way to help keep things a little bit better organized as a business. Just so you know your payroll account, what's in there. That way you keep track of what's been what checks have been cashed, what haven't. If a mistake was made, and all of a sudden there's an overdraft out of your payroll account, you're going to be able to track that down a lot quicker. So if maybe improper, somebody was paid more in their check than what they should have been. So for this one, you're going to take the money out of the general account and deposit it into a payroll account. So the first check, I'm going to go ahead and flip back to the previous page for the instructions. So the first check that's going to be made out is from the general account, and it's going to be paid to the payroll account. So step 1, you're going to fill out this side, and then step 2, fill out this side. So if you need to come back to look at the picture description of where everything goes, that's fine. So we'll go back. So the first thing that we need is prepare the account for the date July 15th, 2016. So for here, it's a small space, so we can just write 7/16, and then the amount is going to be for what you're only going to want to put in there what the payroll checks are going to be, what the total is. So looking back at our worksheet for section 3, remember the net pay was $1,600.86. So that's what this check is going to be for your check stub. So we'll put 1600.86, and then the check is written to And it's going to be put in the payroll account. So I'll write that here. Payroll account. What it's for. Payroll of July 15th, 1/6. Now, so I'll set this aside for a second. So it says in here that our balance brought forward from the previous check out of the general account was $16,542. So that's the amount that we'll put here. 16,542. My pencil's starting to get dull on the ends. A little bit sharper pencil to make it easier to see. So there was nothing deposited. So then our total is 16,542. And remember, the amount that this check is going to be is this amount right here. So 1600, 6 cents. So after that check is taken out, after this check's written and taken out of this account, we're going to have a new balance forward. So I'll get my calculator here. So we got 16,542 minus 1,600 and 86 cents. So $14,941.41. So that'll go here. 141, 14 cents. Okay, so we've got our checkbook stub filled out. So now we need to make out the check. So we're gonna deposit this in our payroll account. So we're in payroll. Payroll account, and so you had the account number 0639583, 0639583. This is just something to protect against any kind of mistake. I'll go ahead and putting the account number on there. Plus, if it's a bigger business, they might have different employees set up in different payroll sections. So some other employees might be taken out of a different payroll account, just depending on how the business has everything divided up. So we've got our date, July 15th. I know that it's July 15th. July 15th, 2016. The amount, 1,600, 86 cents. So up here, you want to write in cursive. That's usually harder to alter. But once again, it's preference for the business that you're doing this for. If you're doing it for your own business, your personal preference. So 1,000. $86. My rating's not the best. $1,600.86. I usually, it's just the way I write them. I make sure I take up the whole space. Usually a lot of times I go past the dollars when I write it, just to make sure I take up all the room that way. Some people write them short and just write a line the rest of the way. That's again personal preference. And then as the manager, you sign it. Make sure you're going to sign it your whole first name, last name. So there's the check from the general account to the payroll account. So now we're going to write the paycheck for, we'll start with Judy. So the pay period ending was July, month 7, the date the 15th, and the year 2016. Her earnings, remember her earnings, that's the gross, 1,079. Her regular pay was 1,040, and her overtime is 39. So we'll put regular 1,040. Overtime was 39. Yeah. Even said 40, but still regular. Okay. So then her deductions total is 205.55. Her federal income tax, get that from here, $48. Social Security, $66.90. Medicare tax, $15.65. Insurance, health insurance, $60. And I say insurance, I just said health insurance the first time. There's other insurances that can be taken out. There can be life insurance. Some people get additional disability insurance if they get hurt while they're working. There are some insurances out there that'll pay you due to just some kind of injury. Those are usually something you have to buy yourself. But health insurance, $60. And other. So don't forget she had, here's her other, and she's getting $15 taken out for bonds. And then the last box for net pay, and we don't have to do anything here because we already know what net pay is, $873.45. 873.45. So now all we have to do is make out the check. So July 15th, 2016. Let's go into Judy Hensley for 873.45. Write a lot of stuff there, so it's fine together. You can read it, just the way I write checks. You really don't need to write dollars there. Like my scribblings, that's kind of what that is, dollars, and the word and, so I'll kind of write together. for the way you write a check is $873. It's not necessary to put dollars there because it's already indicated, but it goes back to that preference again. And then sign it. So that's all you do for Judy. And then the next one is for Mike. So you're just going to go down through the list for Mike. Do the same thing. List out all the details. And then write the check for Mike. So 7/15/2016. Earnings $971.15. Yeah, $971.75. Sorry. Okay, you read my writing 2 times. His regular earnings were $920. Overtime was $51.75. Deductions, and once again, we've got our deductions over here. $244.34. Let's see. Try to write this off so you can see everything. It's hard to do. So, income tax. Looks like $143. Social Security. Oh, I read it wrong. It's $95. As I was reading, I thought that was $65. $95. Social Security $60.25. Medicare $14.09. Health insurance $60. Employee bond $15. Whose net pay is $727.41. $727.41. So we go 15, 16. Mike. June, and that was $727.41. I'll stop your writing here. So there you go. You've got your check from your general account to your payroll account, and your entry in your checkbook stub, so that way you have your you can see where each check went to, and then you've got your 2 paychecks, one for Judy, one for Mike. And as you notice, I was looking for the check numbers when I did this part of section 3. Here are your check numbers. 186 for that one, and for Mike, check number 187. If you remember the last video, I was like, I knew the check numbers were somewhere, but that's where they are. So there's your check numbers. Those 2 guys. For Mrs. Hensley and Mr. McKee. So there you go. Now I get you to do just like the rest of them, do it on your own and turn it in. You're all set.